Hey everyone, this is Senior Stationery and thanks for joining me for another review. As stated on my other previous review, I went on a local haul on a local stationery shop, a small one, which actually usually handles more Stedler items. But interestingly, they do have also quite a few Zebra items. I'm gonna go slowly be getting more stuff from them from that store because they do have some interesting relics that I had never seen from Zebra, and they look that they were probably from the 90s or early 2000s. So that should be interesting and historically considering Zebra's style and product offerings. So hello, Mr. Lego Man. Thanks for joining us and for bringing us another pleasant find from Zebra. So let's take a look. Let's see what Mr. Legoman brought us now. The other Zebra find we got downtown wandering is this nice interesting roller. This is called the Zebra ZebRoller 5.0. As you can see, Zebra, and it has a metal clip. Solid, works well. Looks like a maybe budget or not too expensive rollerball. I mean, I don't think this was more expensive than a Uniball, that's for sure. Um, Looks more simple in style, but works really well. The clip is chrome. It says Zebra Japan JB1. I don't know if you can notice. Let me see if I can focus it. Over there, you can see. Has some odd figure here on the tip. Not mark. Kind of brings to mind um, some maybe the Levi's tab logo. It's like a sort of wavy and rectangular little figure, and it says Zebra in its typical font, Japan JB1. Chrome, probably stainless steel or likely, and then it has chrome printed here on the barrel, as I showed you. Zebra ZebRoller 5.0. I had never seen this pen. Probably was short-lived, or again, I've always been curious. I don't know about you. What has been the story on rollerball pens? We know that um, Uniball is the one who perfected the rollerballs, despite the fact that many of the earliest rollerballs began in 1975, starting with Cross, Schiffer, Parker. But then the Japanese started making disposables and they perfected it around 1981, which was the year the Uniball Deluxe was released. And after that, it became one of the best sellers and well known worldwide. But many other brands released their rollerballs as well. Papermate, Bic, Zebra, Pilot, Pentel, many other brands. Even the German ones, Stedler, Stabilo, um, Faber-Castell, etc. So interesting, as you can see, this is a blue ink one, considering the barrel. So I will assume that depending on the color of the barrel was the model of the pen. And this is, interestingly, the cap is a solid blue. It's simple, fully cylindrical, except for, if you look, let me see if you can show you, exactly on the sides, to the sides of the clip, it has two dents. So that makes it easier to pull out the cap. It makes a slight snap, not a big one, but it works. Keeps it tight, I guess. But I like that. I like the simplicity of the style. You just basically pull it. As I said, it has a couple of side dents, and that works pretty well. The barrel, if you're curious, because this is a rollerball, well, it is semi-translucent, so you can see the level of ink. So that's a very well thought idea, considering that many other rollerballs don't have translucent barrels. This is a really well made, well thought idea. So um, kudos for Zebra for doing this, because they really thought it really well. uh, as you can notice here on the end part, it's slightly smaller or narrower, so it helps to post the cap on the back and pull it out easily. So that's as well a good design cue, I guess. Now here on the front, as you can see, there's no grip area. This is, as I said, translucent plastic. You can see the ridges on the inside of the inner part of the feet, and then some more part of the plastic, and then another tip, and then finally a needle tip. I love needle tip pens. I don't know about you, but good for Zebra for making a needle tip pen. Looks like this was probably a budget one. I've seen nicer models, and I will probably do more reviews on more Zebra and other brand rollers I've got throughout the years. So sorry. So this is fairly smooth plastic, feels okay, doesn't feel slippery. Um, Looks like a really nice, decent office pen, maybe school pen as well. So you look like smart, or at least someone who's um, conscious of their budget. You'll buy a good pen, a good Japanese rollerball, for for a low budget. You won't spend on a pricey maybe Uniball or even pricier rechargeable pen. You know, some brands have made rechargeable rollerballs like Define pens, but then there are brands like Zebra who tend to do more disposable pens, or at least that was on the past. So this looks like a really nice pen, simple style, but it works. Looks professional and decent. Doesn't look extravagant, um, nor too simple like a typical ballpoint. But then again, um, it's up to your taste or your like for writing style if you will choose a rollerball or a ballpoint or even a fountain pen. So let's take a look how does this pen write. So I'm gonna grab here my little jotter. So this is the Zebra. I like the really fine tip. This is the ZebRoller 0.5. This is a needle tip, and it's made in Japan. I really like the blue, dark blue tone of the ink. Looks thick. um I think this is sort of like the pen that you will use to write maybe a thank you card or happy birthday card, or even take notes or write on a journal. But then again, that will have to be on a notebook that has really thick paper. So because the ink looks thick, like the earlier rollerballs where the ink goes all the way close to the back. In this case, I have here a note card with basic white paper, so this is what it writes like. The tip is really smooth. The ink I really like the nice dark blue shade of it, and no gaps on writing. So for being a vintage pen or a very rare find, it really writes really smooth. I found even newer pens tend to dry out. For example, I have some also vintage Schneider pens, and they also dried out, as well as a Faber-Castell, both Germans, and they kind of dried out. So you have to acknowledge that Zebra for making a pen that's already now quite old or rare. You have to recognize the fact that their ink still works pretty well, and it hasn't dried out that much, because I do see a good amount of ink still on the barrel. So that's something to really acknowledge them for that, for their good quality and Japanese made. I really liked it. I like this pen as a pen for journaling or writing down a quick note or a thank you. So will I recommend this pen? Yeah, I think this will be a great product to write personal notes. And well, I hope you like this review, and stay tuned for more to come. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.